What's going on, everyone? This is Steve from Burke Family 54 Comics. I'm joined by my good friend Mike V. What's up, dude?
Oh, what's going on, man? I am super excited to chit chat today and make this video. Let's do this.
Absolutely. Before we do that, though, hit that like, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell, all of that. So, Mike V recently picked up a pretty awesome comic lot. Do you want to talk about it before we show off what books you got?
Yeah, I am a I am a practical hunter nowadays. I can't really travel as much as I'd like to now that we got the little one at home. So I do a lot of just general marketplace. I'll drag the little marker around on the map to see if I can find some people who ship some stuff, and you'd be amazed at some of the stuff that you can find. And I come across this lot, and I just can't believe the price tag on it for the
It's pretty insane.
yeah, for the keys that were in it. Um, but of course, buyer beware. It's always risky to buy from someone who's not comic shipping literate, which you'll see a little bit here in a second. But I'm very happy with what I got for the price that I got it for. But yeah, definitely, affects your sleeping patterns until that package shows up. So
So,
yeah,
recap, you got this comic lot off Facebook Marketplace.
yes.
You want
Rolla,
to share, you want
Missouri
to
is
share how
where
much
they
you
were
paid
from.
for it?
So it was originally listed at $80. I sent an offer of 50 because I'm a horrible person, but it is what it is. Just you got to set that. You got to make
Yeah,
do that
absolutely. You
litmus
don't
test.
barter.
See if they know
Absolutely.
what they're doing, all that kind of stuff. And I messaged them right away because I'm like, I don't want to miss out on this opportunity. We always have those what if stories when it comes to buying books. Um, and I messaged her, and she was like, "Well, I'm considering your offer." I said, "Okay, cool." And then she comes back with, "Can we meet in the middle?" And I said, "Would you do 60?" And she's like, "Let's do it." And plus, it was only like $5 shipping, and you'll see why after this. So yeah, we met it. We met at 65 shipped. So yeah.
Nice. 65 ship for this lot is pretty good. Let's go ahead and take a look at what books Mike V got.
As you can see, I did not order this from Amazon, but apparently the lady I ordered it from wanted to utilize an Amazon envelope to ship media mail for the shipment.
Whew.
So we have a short few issue run on Shattered Empire, and yes, all of you purists are like, "Oh my God, there are no bags and boards. Please stop handling those books." But I wanted to film live of how I opened it. This one's the 1 in 25 of that issue, so that's pretty nice. But uh, not a whole lot happens in Shattered Empire for key reasons. Kanan, I think it has the first 7 issues, if I recall. Issue 1 was bagged and boarded, which is always nice, but as you'll see, the really big key issue in this run is issue 6, and it was not in a bag and board, but thankfully, still in a really nice high grade condition, even though it wasn't bagged and boarded. So I was very grateful for that. Lots of first appearances there in the first issue and the sixth as well. And then we get to Darth Vader. Now, this looks like the normal issue 1, but it is actually the 4th print. I believe the second issue is also the 4th print. And then we have issue 3, which is the first appearance of Dr. Aphra. Huge Star Wars key for the modern books. That is the 3rd printing of that book. I want to say it's like less than 8,000 print count on that issue alone. And then, like I said, just a continued run of that Darth Vader. Thankfully, that issue 3 was bagged and boarded, as you see in the video. But oh man, I lost a lot of sleep with this shipment being sent because I was really hoping that the investment would pay off, and thankfully it did. Um, I actually had to have my neighbor go over because I wasn't there the day it showed up. It showed up a day early, and I was terrified. And I said, "Hey, did it show up?" He goes, "Yeah, it's almost shrink wrapped in an Amazon package." And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Is it flimsy?" And he goes, "Well, it feels like some of them are boarded." And I'm like, "Oh God, like my worst nightmare come to life is what I'm gonna open up, just riddled with ticks is what I'm thinking." But no, thankfully they turned out very, very nice. Yeah, issue 1 of that Darth Vader series goes for about $15 in the first print. I haven't done too much research on what the 4th printing goes for. That Dr. Aphra book, that's $100 book right there. Kanan issue 1 still goes for close $25-$30 by itself, even though that's the one that CGC acknowledges is the first appearance of, I think it's Sabin Wren, and there are many first appearances in the Star Wars era there, and then but issue 6 is the first full appearance of a lot of the major characters there. But that one in VF Plus condition, which is less than what mine ended up being, even though I don't know how, but being shipped out of the bag and board. In a VF Plus sold for $90 on eBay last time. So definitely some solid keys in there. Definitely some money to be made. But I was just so grateful that everything came in a decent condition. But you know, when it comes to hunting using Facebook Marketplace, it's all about timing. Someone very easily could have scooped this up before I could have. I check probably 2 or 3 times a day, just kind of, you know, when I'm not doing something more important. You know, being teachers like us, Steve, we have more time in the summer. So that's usually when a lot of my virtual or physical hunting takes place. And, you know, sometimes you get lucky. And so, yeah. But then on, I want to say it was, I think a day before I got that one. With summer coming, a lot of people have garage sales, yard sales, estate sales, all that kind of stuff. Well, somebody posted in a town, Springfield, Missouri, which is about just over 2 hours from where I live. And we were already going to be going to Branson for our anniversary weekend, which of course Springfield's on the way. Right. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna hit up this guy, and he's having a garage sale. And I said, hey, what do you have available? And he sends me a picture of this box, which he threw in for free with the purchase.
I'm gonna make you big right here.
Okay. Which he threw in this box for free. He was freaking awesome. And he sends me just like, it's got books in it, and he sends me he has hundreds of trades available for sale, board games, this and that, all that kind of stuff. And so, okay. So the books that I ended up picking up, I asked him, he had a lot of single issues available of just random stuff, you know, including some free comic book day books. And I was like, all right, what are you looking to get for this? And of course, excuse me, I can't tell you how many times I hear people say, well, send me an offer. You know, what do you want to pay for it? That kind of stuff. And I can't stand when people say that, because I'm like, look, you should have some type of idea of what you're wanting to get out of something that you're trying to sell, right? So thankfully he was not like that. He said, how do you feel about $1 a book? And I was like, what? You know, you read that message, you're like, deal, done. Because he had sent me what he had, and I was just like, all right, we'll see what he wants for it. And he said $1 a book. I said, deal. How many books you got? And he told me what he had. He said he was going to throw in a few more just because he had them that I didn't need to pay for. And then he said, all these free comic book day books I have, I'm just going to give them to you for free, because I don't feel like it's fair to charge someone for a book that was free. And I had a good chuckle when I read that, because I think about things like Umbrella Academy, free comic book day, was it Ultimate Fallout 4, the free comic book day still sells for
the One Punch Man as well.
Yeah, One Punch Man is a really high dollar one too. Like, you know, thankfully this guy was a really nice guy. Now, I didn't have any crazy free comic book day books out of that, but you know, it's things that kind of make you giggle. You know, like a Sears special edition of Superman #1. You know, a reprinting of All-Star Superman #1. In recognition of Man of Steel coming out back in 2013, and I'm like, oh, rest in peace, Sears. You know,
right?
You know, The Tick. You know, free comic book day. Got Spill Night, Dragon Ball Super. You know, one of my favorite. Dragon Ball Z was one of my favorite shows growing up. Shadow Man, and a lot of these will be available at the Tulsa Comic Swap, where Steve and I will be hanging out.
Yes, sir.
They'll be available and I will not charge for the free comic book day books either. So
yeah, we're gonna have some free books available there.
Yeah, and see, Attack on Titan, this guy was a big anime guy. So any anime ones that he could find, you know, My Hero Academia, you know, he just found things that he really enjoyed, which I respect that. I like it when people collect what they want. But I want to say there's like like Hellboy, Free Comic Book
Nice.
Day, DC Superhero Girls. I think that was when they came out with that TV show. A lot of ash can size ones. Batman Rebirth #1, but the
Nice.
Halloween Comic Fest version. So Image Classics, just a lot of really cool Transformers Unicron. I think Steve has this Free Comic Book Day and the one that he got too.
I do.
I think I remember that one. Overwatch, just a ton of Free Comic Book Day books that he just threw in there. Harley Quinn and the Suicide Squad Special Edition #1. It's a Barnes and Noble exclusive, I guess. There's 2 of these in here. But then, I got past that stuff. I'm like, all right, what do we have? So he ended up throwing in like a few Spawn issues. They're decent condition, but they're directs. And, we know how many millions of Spawn issues were sold in that era when Image was just the new hot thing. But then the stuff that I was really excited about personally is the Dark Knights Metal series. So he ended up having all of the one-shots for the Dark Knights, and then he had 1 through 6, as well as a couple tie-ins, the casting,
Wow.
Dark Days, all that. So we got Batman Murder Machine.
Mm-hmm.
We have The Forge. That was a tie-in book there.
Phenomenal read.
We have the Devastator, basically Doomsday Batman. Batman Lost is another tie-in issue. Dark Knights Rising, that was another tie-in issue there. The Batman Who Laughs one-shot, which is the origin of Batman Who Laughs, which this book still goes for about $15. This is the Merciless, I believe. Yep. Batman the Merciless. This still goes for about $15. This is basically the evil Green Lantern version of Batman, the Dawnbreaker. So he had all these one-shots, and everyone's favorite, it seems, the Red Death. This still goes for about $39, $40 by itself. It's got that one in there, and then the Aqua version, the Drowned. And so he had all those. The casting, which this is the first cameo appearance of the Dark Knights, so including Batman Who Laughs and all those others. And then, of course, we get into the Dark Knights Metal run, which is the 6-issue run. There's the first issue. Issue 2 is the cameo appearance of the Batman Who Laughs. This is still, $15, $20 book by itself. And so it's always nice to have the full run of little mini-series like that. So, which, of course, I enjoyed the read. Personally, I thought it was pretty neat. I personally think it's a little bit better than Death Metal. But then again, I knew Death Metal was going to be one of those things where you were either going to love it or hate it just because they were going to throw anything against the wall they wanted. They gave them the keys on that one. But, Spawn issue 2, Shadowhawks, you have these interesting, like, No One Escapes the Fury, an Image book, #2, pretty neat looking. Never heard of Spectral Void, but Spectral Void issue 1, and there appears to be a signature, on the bottom,
Nice.
And then Spectral Void issue 2. This one does not have a signature, but, just things I'd never heard of. You have the Kingsman Red Diamond. I've only seen bits and pieces of the Kingsman movies, but, I bet that's a pretty neat read. Like, he was just kind of into that niche stuff. Dr. Horrible Best Friends Forever one-shot. He bought the first couple issues of Bombshells United, which I'm pretty sure is one of the follow-up stories to the Bombshells original run. And then the other one, you have this, the Oni double feature, the Oni Press #1, and, we recognize who that's supposed to be, depicting, right?
Oh, yeah.
Jay and Silent Bob. And then you have Clerks, the comic book.
Nice.
So, just neat little stuff like that. He had a series called The Realm, issues 1 through looks like 10. Issues 1 through 10, you know, that he enjoyed reading. And the last series that's kind of notable is, speaking of the Umbrella Academy Free Comic Book Day, he had the Umbrella Academy #1, which this used to go for a lot more money when the show first came out and was getting renewed, but this is still $20-$25 book by itself. And then it also came with issue 3, which has a first appearance in that one as well. And then, you know, things like Zombie Dave #1, you know, pretty nifty thing. Need to do some research on what that even is, but it seems like this guy was really into indie stuff. And then, yeah, Escape from Zombie Earth. He seemed to be really into zombies. So just a really cool lot. But like I said, I think it ended up being like, counting the Free Comic Book Day books, that's about, I'd say that's close to like 80 books that I ended up getting. And I ended up paying him just for the single issues, I think it was $53, I want to say, for all the single issues that he had. But
so you did pretty well.
Oh yeah, considering that, and see, I didn't have to pay shipping because I was passing through town and I went and grabbed it. And ironically enough, he was selling board games, trades, omnibus books, all this stuff. And what's funny is I showed up that Friday. They weren't going to start their garage sales till Saturday. I pull up and he goes, "Wow, I'm really glad that you and I talked when we did." He goes, "I have nothing left for the sale tomorrow." He said, "So many people hit me up on Facebook. I've sold everything." He's like, "I got stuff bundled up. People paid me on Venmo. Like, I have nothing left to sell." And he goes, "It's so funny because I was just going to put up," and he's a young guy like us. And he was like,
"Hey, yeah, we're young. You just called me young."
That's right. That's right. Hey, you've seen some of the people you teach with. We are definitely young compared to this.
That's true.
And so I ended up I was talking to him and he goes, "Yeah, my wife is the one who told me to put it on Facebook. I was just going to put some signs up and hope that stuff sold." And so his wife's the one who put it on Facebook for him.
Nice.
And yeah, every trade, every board game, everything was sold before their sale even started on Saturday. He's like, "Yeah, all I have left are my kids' old clothes and my old clothes. I don't want any more." So, I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I couldn't believe it, how much money I made that quickly with as many people that wanted that kind of stuff."
Nice.
So yeah,
you got well over $100 in value, probably $200 in value just off that lot right there, right?
Oh yeah, with the Umbrella Academy books, you know, you're probably looking at, you know, $30-$35 there. The Dark Knights Metal books are probably all together is probably around 100 by themselves, including the tie-ins and stuff. So yeah, easily doubled, if not tripled, my money on that.
You probably got roughly around at least $500 in value between the two boxes. Between
the two lots, absolutely.
Between the two lots you got, and you only paid just under 120 bucks. I feel like you did pretty good. I feel like you did pretty
exactly.
good. And
exactly.
Are these going to be available, like you said?
I do auctions occasionally, but like I said, I would like to have those at the Tulsa Comic Swap, but people may see this video and hit me up. Like that's usually how it goes. When I publicize some of the stuff I pick up, people hit me up on Instagram, and all of a sudden I don't have that book anymore.
Yeah,
so,
and I'm sure I threw up a photo of his Instagram page by now, but it's just Michael Villarreal, right?
Michael.a.Villarreal. But like I said, you just hit me up. I'm on there. So I'm sure Steve will tag me on his page because we all follow Steve's page. He's so amazing. I mean, look at him.
I don't know about that, but I appreciate that, dude.
Freaking celebrity fighting the system like an integrity man should.
No. Well, I appreciate you coming on the channel and showing off all the books you got, man. I'm pretty jealous. I mean, I feel like I recently got a pretty nice pickup, which I'll try to leave a link below to that. I picked up a big box of comics for just $20 off of
Dude, that was an excellent pickup. And that's what I love about that though is, and that's how much I appreciate you, because not only you have me on here for that, but I saw something and I was like, you know what? Steve lives like right there. Yeah. I'm going to send this over to Steve. Yeah, I'm gonna send it to Steve and see if he can put. And then you turned the charm on and negotiated even lower what they had for it, and look what you got out of it, man.
I got it. It was listed for 30. I got it for 20, and I picked it up the very next day. So
Yeah,
I feel like I did pretty well in that.
when
And like I
both
said,
parties
I
are
will put up
happy, it's
videos
always
as
a
well.
good time.
So
Yeah, but I'll leave you with one more story.
Okay.
I love telling this story. So I came across a post on Marketplace. It was someone that lived about 4 or 5 hours away from me. Oh no. Sorry. This one was in Arizona, so she lived really far away. She was willing to ship though. So I look at the post. She's selling all of her single issue comic books for $15. And I
Total.
said, all right, cool. Yeah,
$15
total.
Okay.
Total. And you know those like plastic like notebook dividers that you can, but you can fit like 3 or 4 notebooks in there. So it's like a full thing, like 2 or 3 full things of that. And then she had like these comic books spread out, and you know, it was almost like this, where she had like comics books spread like this. And at the very bottom, I just see this little bit, and I swear it's the Ultimate Fallout logo, and it's in a poly bag. That's the only book it's in a poly bag. And I'm like, oh my God.
I know this story.
She has an Ultimate Fallout 4 in the poly bag, and she's selling all of that plus that for $15. So I sent her a message, and I said, okay, are you willing to ship? I'll take it right now. And she goes, well, you're next in line. There's a guy coming to get these books, and he's going to come look at them. And I'm sitting back going, there are 2 ways I can go about this. I can sit back and go, good for that guy. Or I can say, you know what? If I can't get the deal, then no one's going to get that deal. And in all fairness,
company.
And in all fairness, she gave me a background story of how like she was moving, and she's a big May Parker fan, you know, Amazing or Spider Girl, and you know she collected stuff that she liked and Spider-Verse stuff. So, you know, she was just really bummed she had to get rid of it because she was moving. And so I was like, hey, is the book at the bottom of this stack Ultimate Fallout number 4? And she sends me a message. She goes, yeah. Why do you ask? And I said, well. And then I screenshotted the last sold page on eBay for Ultimate Fallout 4 still in the poly bag. And those things go anywhere from like $5 to $7.50 depending on the day. And so I sent that to her, and she goes, you mean this one? And then she sends me a picture of her book. And I said, yeah, that's the same book. And she goes, oh my God, I had no idea I had that. I said, yeah.
Crazy,
and then she asked me this question. She goes, do you think people would pay like $300 for that book? And I'm like, yeah, they definitely would. And so like, that's where I left the conversation. You know, that's where it ended. Sure. Right. And 4 or 5 days later, I get a message out of nowhere from her. And she goes, I sold the book for $500. And I'm like, that's so awesome. She's like, nice. Oh my gosh, I was able to buy furniture and new stuff for my new place and this and that. I'm like, that's so great. Then she sends me a picture of all of her other books and trade paperbacks in a box packed. And she goes, I want to send these to you for free for helping me out. And I said, I can't do that. Right. And she goes, you helped me out so much. Without you, I never would have, you know, made that money, and it helped me out so much and this and that. I said, I didn't tell her this, obviously, but my motives weren't pure. I knew I didn't deserve all those books for free. So I told her, I say, you know what? You're moving. Sell those books for whatever price you like. I really appreciate the gesture, though. And, you know, we small talked about the Spider-Verse movie coming out and how, you know, May Parker's going to be a baby in it and all that stuff. So, you know, made some small talk and wished her well. But yeah, those are some interesting interactions you can have going about those things. So you either strike it big or you don't. But yeah, I kind of pulled a dick move there, and I was like, well, if I'm not going to get this,
you know what? It turned out well for her. It turned out well for her, that's for sure. So.
At least that's what I tell myself, right?
There you go. Well, thank you, Mike V, for joining me today. This was a lot of fun. We're definitely going to have to do this again very soon. And make sure you guys check out the channel, because pretty soon here in a couple of weeks, like I said, both of us plus Panda hopefully will be doing the Tulsa comic swap, and we'll definitely be doing a video on that as well.
Yes, for sure. It's like we almost need to start our own segment. You know, Mike
Right.
V's marketplace finds.
There we go. We can do a monthly marketplace find video with Mike.
Yes, there you go.
There you go.
Even better, Steve. That's why you're the man.
All right, thanks everyone for watching. Again, my name is Steve from Burke Family 54 Comics. This is Mike V. Thanks everyone for watching. And as always, go Cats.
Cowabunga. It's morphin' time.
Today's video is brought to you by comicbook_pressing on Instagram. Protect your comic book investment for as little as $12 by using Eric from comicbook_pressing on Instagram. He can press any grade or tier of book, and make sure you use my promo code BURKE54 to get free shipping back to you on your first order. Again, today's video is brought to you by comicbook_pressing on Instagram.